for joining. Graham, I'll let you start.
I'll kick it off. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, 9 Strategies on Building a Powerful Pipeline with MAPS Coach Christina Griffin. Please note this meeting is being recorded and will be available within 24 hours on the MAPS Group YouTube channel. You may access the YouTube channel from your Zoom confirmation email, and we will share the link in the chat momentarily. Currently, everyone is on mute. We do value group participation. So we ask that if you have questions for your coach, please type them into the chat box located in the taskbar at the bottom of the screen. Your questions will be addressed by your coach throughout the webinar. Following the meeting, if you have any questions about today's call or coaching programs, please email us at fasttrack, FASTTRACK @kw.com. That's all for me, Christina. Take it away.
All right, Graham, thank you so much. Hey guys, I just want to thank everyone for joining me. I have a lot of content. I will do my best not to be super fast because I like to be respectful for everyone's time. So again, thank you for joining. I'm going to first and foremost start off with the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. And the reason why I'm sharing this is it's super important and everyone needs to comply with it. Before we discuss how to build your pipeline, it's important to focus on this because we're going to talk about some data and some things like that. So the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, it regulates calls and text messages made using certain technology. The TCPA includes the National Do Not Call Registry and also regulates telemarketing calls. Real estate agents who violate these laws face stiff regulatory penalties and/or potential catastrophic legal damages. Contact an attorney to determine if your practice follows TCPA guidelines. In addition to federal laws, several states have laws governing telemarketing. Consult an attorney to determine applicable laws in your area. You may have some questions regarding this. Make sure to reach out to your broker, an attorney, or your team leader in your market center. I am going to share with you some tips on how to build your pipeline. It's important to understand these as you're growing your pipeline and adding different data sources to be able to call and contact. So first and foremost, I am thankful that you're here. Thankful that you're here with us and you want to be able to learn some things on how to grow your personal pipeline. Before we get started, I am going to share with you, I do have a viral marketing blog, which is ChristinaGriffin.com. On the very top of it, it says download tips to get more referrals. When you log in, this is going to give you just some of the letters and some of the things that we're going to discuss here today. Now, most of us, we have buyers that are looking for properties that there's not enough inventory. And part of what I do and part of what I do in the course that we're getting ready to relaunch as well very soon this month is I teach you how to create inventory. Gary Keller says those that create the inventory control the market, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So some of us learned at family reunion, and Gary talked a lot about land and going after land and working those opportunities. Make sure to stay tuned next week on how I'm going to show you how to create those opportunities, convert them, and to convert dirt. Right now, we're going to talk about 9 strategies on building a powerful pipeline. So first and foremost, the first thing is I want you to touch all of your leads in your database and determine, are they financially qualified to buy or are they in a financial position to sell? Realistic expectations of the market, wants, and are they in line with affordability and listing price is supported by market data? Do they have sufficient motivation? Is there a big enough why to cause them to take action to buy or sell a home? This is the basis of the entire transaction. And what I mean by big enough why, did they have another child? Do they need to upgrade or downgrade because they can't afford it or they need a bigger home? Do they need to move because they're no longer working in the area? A lot of our buyers and a lot of our sellers, they may be uncertain of where they're going to go if they sell or if they buy. We need to be able to be solutions makers and help them to determine that. Now, 1 in 7 transactions, I'm part of a very large single family rental forum that is out there where some of the largest single family ownership groups are part of in the entire country. And they came out with a stat that 1 in 7 homes since the beginning of the year have sold off market to real estate investors. So the big thing that I want you to know is there is inventory. There are properties selling. You guys just need to learn how to navigate the off-market industry, and that's something that I teach you. So this is the basis of the entire transaction on motivation. Now, we need to have ongoing communication. Is the prospect responding to your attempts to communicate with them in a timely manner and with transparency? And reasonable time frame. Is the time frame likely to transact within a clearly defined time period? And open-ended time frame is not a time frame. Okay, so what does this mean? You guys are going to have a database, and if you don't have a database, this is another discussion, but you should all have a database with leads, and those leads could be 5 years old, 10 years old, or just recent, that you're paying for leads and opportunity to come and flow into your system. We need to reactivate all of them. If you haven't talked to them in a very long time, one of my favorite reactivations is, I just wanted to touch base with you to see how you're doing. Could I have your most updated address so I could send you a card? Right now, we have St. Patrick's Day. One of the top touches for real estate agents, other than the core holidays, which is Easter, and Christmas and Thanksgiving, is St. Patrick's Day. And why is that? Because the conversation is, I'm lucky to have you in my world. It has a lot to do around luck and gratitude. So if you haven't talked to the people in your world, now is a great time to be able to re-engage with them. Even if it's the Zillow lead or the realtor.com lead that reached out to you a year or 2 or 5 years ago because they're interested in one of your listings, right now is where we should buckle down this week and retouch and re-engage in all of them. Now, here's the reason why. We want to make sure on all leads that we have this information: their name, address, phone number, email, motivation, timeline, specifics on what they're looking for, or why they want to sell. Now, here's why. We need to be able to create a hot list of people that we're working with, because ideally we want to be able to not wait for a property to hit the market. We want to be able to go and find a property for them. Our goal and our solution should be to be solutions makers and fit the buyer and seller together. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. There are 120 different data filters. I'm going to teach you how to navigate through our course. Now, what does this mean to you guys? On market, off market, pre-foreclosure, public auction, bank owned, vacant properties, tax liens, HOA, mechanics liens, cash buyer, high equity, properties that are absentee owners, free and clear, bankruptcy, divorce, pre-probate, senior owners, and much more. Now, you may be asking, or maybe thinking, Christina, why are you talking about those? Because a lot of us, we have buyers that we don't have properties for. I'm going to teach you how to be able to look at what they are interested in and utilize the data to create the opportunity for your buyer. That's why it's really important to have that motivation and that clarity on what they're looking for. So here's the third tip. We're going to build a hot list of top clients ready to buy or sell. We're going to get as much information as you can. We're going to compile it in. We're going to compile all of it in a database. And we're going to include their contact information, their email address, their social media handles, phone numbers, and addresses. We're going to put them on an auto plan. I love auto plans that have email and text if we have permission to text them for follow-up and maximum outreach. It could be as simple as sending them holiday touches, or setting them up on a system through your multiple listing where they're going to get notified when a property hits the market. Command has some really amazing auto plans, and everybody that you have in your world, whether they're part of your sphere and database or an old lead, should be on the auto plan that is compliant to what they're looking for. We're going to categorize them by their preferences, use the same terminology to categorize leads so that you can quickly search and send those potential clients' leads to that particular list. And why am I telling you to do this? You guys could have investors that are looking and they could say, hey, send me a hot deal. And you need to know what that hot deal means. So if you decide that you want to do a golden letter, and what a golden letter is, there's variations of different letters. And if you go to my blog on christinagriffin.com and download that folder, you're going to see about 8 different versions. And what that letter means is, I have a client interested in buying your home. What is the right price that you would be willing to sell? So the reason why you categorize your clients is you need to know exactly what they're looking for. So when you're prospecting for certain properties or certain campaigns, you fit the right buyer and the right seller together. Now you're going to reach out as soon as possible and start building your relationships. You're going to learn how to find the inventory and home for your client, regardless of it not being on the market. I truly recommend you guys to open your mind to becoming a hunter for the property for your client. My personal group has more properties off market probably than we do have on market, and the commissions range between 5 and almost 10% on properties. And here's why: because we are working with the buyers and sellers directly, and we're fitting the two together, and we're prospecting for those properties off market. So what I want you to look at is, I want you to have a hot list. It could be 5, 6, 10, 50 clients, depending on the size of your group, that you know exactly what they're looking for and when they're willing to move and what their motivation is. You're going to create prospecting campaigns around your client and what they're looking for. Now, if you don't have any clients, that's again a different conversation. And part of the course that I teach, we're going to teach you how to build the biggest pipeline possible that fits your financial needs and will allow you to truly hit all of your financial goals. And you can work with your coach to help do the prospecting and fit everything together. So you're going to make sure you have your online searches set up on the MLS for your client. Your door hangers are super important. And here's why. And I do have a few different examples of some flyers in that folder that you're going to download on christinagriffin.com. But truly having and being armed with the right materials in your car. When you go show a property, I don't know about you, I've been in the real estate industry for 20 plus years. Our group has sold over 5,000 homes, and I've been to listings where we showed a property and the seller or the buyer don't show up. So we have to decide, do we go back to our office? Do we go home? What do we do? Now, if you have door hangers or you have letters or you have golden letters in your car and your client cancels, or you're there early, or your client's running late, whether it's putting 10 door hangers up or 100, you are armed with the ability to prospect to grow your pipeline. So this is part of what I teach you how to do. Now, cards. Cards are incredible. I personally send out cards. There's AM cards. Being able to prospect and look at what your client's looking for. It could be a 3-bedroom home in a certain neighborhood. It could be potentially 100 homes that fit that criteria. It's going to cost you about $1 a card to send a card out to every one of those homes. Well, if that card creates one listing that results in potentially a $10,000 commission, it would be worth it. for you to send out those cards, correct? Now, I'm throwing a lot of information at you, but truly what you need to know and what you need to understand is having that pipeline of clients and truly knowing what they're looking for. And when you are working on your prospecting, is working on finding opportunity for those clients that will either create a property for your client or result in other properties in other sales. So we're going to have door hangers, we're going to have letters, we're going to have cards, we're going to do circle prospecting. After you scrub the do not call, we're going to call after you scrub the do not call. Facebook, if you're not aware, Facebook Marketplace is free. So check those out. A lot of you have listings and are not aware that you can list a property on Facebook Marketplace that will create a ton of opportunity and you can convert to other opportunities. But guys, the biggest thing is to have touches to your database, to be proactive and to be able to become a hunter and create those opportunities and those measures for your client. And I teach you how to do that in a simple manner on our course. Now, an easy script, no matter the experience level, you can be a experienced or a non-experienced agent and be here and listening to this and say, I have no listings or I have no pipeline. If you just picked up the phone after you scrubbed the do not call, or you used a simple golden letter and you went out to neighborhoods, maybe you did not pull the data points, the 120 plus that I'm going to teach you in this course, and you just did simplicity on calls, letters, or door to door. And the message was, would you be willing to sell your home to my buyer? You guys have Keller offers. We have a ton of investors, and in my course, I'm going to teach you how to locate the investors in your area and have those conversations, but we just have to keep it simple. We have to keep it consistent. So check out that script. Would you be willing to sell your home to my buyer? And I promise you, no matter what your experience level is, you can fit the buyer and the seller together, and we teach you how to do that in a really simple way. Now, the next real strategy I want to give you as an example is if you send out 600 letters to a community and it creates one sale, and that letter is $1 a letter, and you make $10,000 and it costs you $600 to create that sale, would it be worth it? 100%. Instead of stating, I cannot find a buyer, I want you to look for it. I want you to truly be proactive. This will create opportunities for your client and future prospects. Now, the next thing I want you to imagine if a runner at $15 an hour puts out 100 door hangers per day, or 50 targeted door hangers that resulted in one sale or one nurture. Would it be worth it? Absolutely. Now, you may be sitting here right now and you may think, you know what? I don't have the funds to pay a runner. It's okay. My own director of sales, I remember when he started with me, he walked 15 miles to put out a newsletter once a month and printed the newsletter from the office that we were part of just to save on cost. You can put in the sweat equity to be able to create their relationships and create the opportunity. If you are hungry enough, you can do anything, and we're going to teach you how to do that. I want you guys to learn to create the leads and create the opportunity, and it's scalable to whatever level your business is. Some of you may be single agents, or you could be a market center, and you want to be able to learn how to create opportunity or more opportunity. Let's keep it simple. I've been an agent for 20 years, and we've done 5,000 homes. I've learned it all the hard way. And what we do in our course is we're going to teach you how to not learn it the hard way. A lot of investors do a lot of the simple tactics that we do and that we teach, like I call it driving for dollars. You're going to drive around a neighborhood. When's the last time you showed a home and you recognize that the house next to it was vacant or the house across the street was overgrown? You wrote down the address and you knew how to find the contact information after you scrubbed the do not call for the client. and you reached out to them and you said, I was in the neighborhood showing a buyer a home in your neighborhood, and I think they'd be really interested in your home. Can I set up a time to meet with you? We're going to keep it simple, and we're going to grow your pipeline as big as you want it. We're going to, number 7 is we're going to embrace the data and how it can help you. We're going to learn the data sources available to create opportunity. We're going to create a plan. We're going to decide on at least 3 to 5 strategies you'll incorporate in your business to create opportunity for your buyers and more listings. We're going to break each one of those into strategies down in an easy to implement steps, and we're going to create a budget for marketing. And keep in mind, your budget doesn't have to be big. It could be purely sweat equity, or you could be here and you can say, Christina, I want you to show me next week on how to sell every piece of vacant land available in my area. Like Gary spoke about creating opportunities for dirt at family reunion. I'll show you how to do that, but I want you to know that it could be a big budget or a small budget. We just have to be consistent, and we need to be able to have the right message, and you guys will grow your pipeline as big as you want it. Now, here's some questions I want you to consider. How much can you spend on marketing now? What will you use the money for? How will you need to spend? How much will you need to spend to get your desired results? Schedule your marketing tasks on a calendar for the next 3 months, and what can you outsource? I personally have a very big team of virtual assistants. Fiverr, FIVERR.com, and Upworks and Cyberbackers are really great solutions as well. Outsourcing comes in all shapes and sizes and cost. It could be a teenager that you have or a spouse that's unemployed that you can put them to work putting door hangers up on a property. I'm going to teach you how to be able to create leverage to grow your pipeline. Now, number 9, I want you to make a list of all the things you do in your business that you're currently doing each and every week. And I want you to look at what you need to stop doing and what will allow you to grow your business. I know I threw a lot at you, but what I want you to hear is I want you to look at the leads, the opportunity, and what you currently are working with. Regardless if you can find them a home or not, I want you to make sure that you have a clear plan with all of them, that you know that you have 3 to 5 to 20 buyers and what they're looking for. And then we're going to keep it simple and create prospecting plans around putting those buyers and sellers together. Please know that if you're consistent and you're hungry, your business could be as big as you want it to be. The inventory's out there. The off-market transactions are massive, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. So I'm going to check the questions to see if there's any in just a second. I hope you join us next week. I'm going to talk to you about creating land opportunities, converting them to potential sales, and how to work with builders and how to convert dirt and other opportunities. So I hope you guys got value today. And let me just check real quick on if there's any questions. All right. Okay. So I'm on the blog. Are we signing up? No, it's download tips to get more referrals, Donna. I will not spam you. I promise. It's just a folder in a Google Drive with a lot of really great tips for you. What percentage of replies from door hangers do you see, and do they really work? Donna, it's going to depend on the neighborhood and the call to action. You could potentially put out one day, just like calling and prospecting on the phone after you scrub the do not call. You could potentially call 500 people and get no one on the phone, or you can call 20 and get 100 on the phone. So it's going to depend on where you're putting those door hangers at. What I would tell you is the newer construction, the homes that have had a lower amount of age where they are recently purchased, or absentee owners are prevalent, you're going to get less responses We just need to get you consistent. We need to check your area. The 120 plus data filters, and I'm going to show you how to navigate, will help you be able to create a plan based upon your area, because everyone's area is different. One of our colleagues has 55 acres of dirt in Rock Hill. Call me if you're interested. That's wonderful. What I would say to you, Mary Beth, is have you looked at builders in your particular area? I'm going to show you how to do that next week. Reached out to them, had a conversation with that builder to see if they'd be interested in buying it. And if you help them buy it, if they'd let you represent on the new construction. I've done that before, and it's a great way to create an awesome amount of opportunity. Trisha, it's ChristinaGriffin.com. Check out the MAPS coaching course that we have that we're launching, and it's 12 weeks. So definitely take a look at it. And what I would tell you is we do an hour of content. You get me coaching you each and every week. We get a very high level Facebook group. We get Q&A after each class, and it's only $199 a month. And that's for 12 weeks. That's one sale. So I hope you guys join us. And I look forward to getting to know you, and thank you for being here and being part of this session. So MAPS coaching, that's all I have today, and I appreciate you. Guys, thank you so much, and I hope you reach out, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Christina. Thanks, everyone.
Great.